And we are live to another rendition of the Create Your New Life session powered by Brooks and Davis each and every Thursday at 12 o'clock. So we definitely want to welcome all those that have joined in with us today. As we talk a little bit about foundation, we continue our talk about foundation building. So we are going to continue that talk. Again, for those that are new to the Creation Life, or you're watching it because we do send that invite out to multiple agents, want to absolutely tell you welcome. We're always looking to bring on talented individuals to be a part of the organization that we can assist in your development, and you making more money in real estate. So our co-founder, Mr. Brooks, is definitely looking to sit down with people and talk to you about your future. So again, if you're interested, we want to meet with you, want to talk to you, we want to grow our agent count. We know that we have a lot to offer to agents that are getting into the business, and we want to be there to help them out. At any point, you can stop me, engage, ask questions. These trainings are not just meant for me to run my mouth, but I feel that we get a lot out of the engagement. We also have the group chat available, so we can, if you have questions or comments of things that really stand out to you, we absolutely want you to mention it, or say, unmute yourself, say something, or however you want to handle it. So we definitely want to say that. So today we say the name of it is Your Foundation Will Be Strong. We started a couple of weeks ago talking about foundation, building that foundation, undergirding your activities to ensure that you have longevity. So today we're going to, with this, as we talk through the foundation piece, it's all about ensuring that you have a business that lasts. It's about lasting, right? It's not about ramping up and then falling off. It's about you ramp up, maybe plateau, you ramp up, plateau, you ramp up. Like, it's longevity. Be one of these companies that's been around, like Guinness Beer. Guinness Beer has been around since 1791, right? So, to have some level of sustainability like that, you have to have a strong foundation. When building commercial buildings, the higher the building's going to be, the deeper and the stronger the foundation is. With a tree, the higher the tree grows, the deeper and the wider the roots are. So the level of capacity that you want to make financially in this business really is going to, how high that you're able to achieve is going to solely be based on how strong of a foundation that you've laid to offer that level of sustainability and growth in your business. So that's what we're going to be talking about, and that's what we're talking about today. So the quote that I had connected to the description is, you need to have ruthless competition. Now, I wanted to add that quote because I actually got it from a book that I'm reading, and I had never heard those two words used together, and it just really spoke out to me when I heard it. Ruthless competence. Ruthless competence. You want to be so competent in what you do and what you offer to this industry, to this business, that you're ruthless about it. That you're so intentional about providing this result for your client. Brooks and Davis is going to be so intentional about realizing our purpose of creating a greater experience for every stakeholder in the real estate community. For us to do that, we have to be ruthless in our competence, in our results, in getting the job done, and knowing what we're talking about when it comes to real estate. And not only just real estate in this city, but real estate wherever, right? You definitely want to be the expert when it comes to the city, but you want to be well versed in real estate, period, to where you can go anywhere and talk real estate. Real estate is about land. It's about houses. It's about a person's, one of the basic necessities of a human being, which is shelter, right? When you really get down deep to it. So, and we're able and capable of speaking about those things. So that's where that quote came from. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk some business. You know, how have we been doing so far since we last met? So let me go ahead and share my screen. I think we've been on fire, man. To be honest with you, we are cranking it out. Going into, you know, rounding out this second quarter, right? So this is the second quarter, and the end of the second quarter, we're going into the third quarter next month, right? So this is the last month of the second quarter, and you know, as of last week, we're now a little under 5 million, right? And I think that's good. We've been increasing our productivity on a weekly basis, and that 5 million mark, you know, seeing that we have that level of production that's on the board that is constantly growing, really makes me feel good. So we want to keep cranking it out, people. You guys are doing an excellent job. I mean, it took April forever to get all of the new contracts on the board. And it seems like it's been like that for the last couple of weeks. We're adding 4 or 5 contracts on the board. So it's all about feeding that pipeline, plugging that pipeline in, and moving in that direction. So I really applaud those that are adding, you know, those that are participating, those that are getting contracts coming in there. You know, I'm saying I'm really proud of the work that you guys are putting in, and I want you to continue that work as we continue to move into the third quarter of the year. Okay, let's see what our top 5 is. So we've had some shakeups in the top 5. We had some new people that have been added to the top 5 over the production that they've brought in. So right now, Laquana Davis is, you know, back number 1. And matter of fact, she's also broke a record. She has more people under contract than anybody's ever had. She currently has 9 people on 9 sides under contract. So definitely applaud what she's doing and her efforts as far as, you know, working. And she's still out there working, trying to get more people. So she's number 1. Brina's hop back on the board. And that's the thing about the top 5 producing agents. You can go from not being on the board at all. So Brina wasn't on the board at all to being number 2, right? Not being on the board at all to being number 2. And then Don Green, who last week was the number 2 agent, he went from being number 2 to, actually, I'm sorry, he was the number 1 agent last week. He went from being number 1 to not being on the board at all because all of his deals closed. So that's the thing. That producing agent position, it's ever changing. And it should be ever changing because the word is producing. Who's the number 1 producing agent right now? Laquana has 9 sides under contract. Right now, she's the number 1 producing agent. Even though we don't base it on transaction amount, we base it on volume. But, you know, that level of volume that she's commanding right now is driving her to the top. Kim Washington, again, she wasn't on the board last week. Last couple, you know, she hasn't been on the board for a minute. And now she comes on at number 3. Again, it's you get 1 contract, 2 contracts, you know, depending on the volume, 3 contracts, depending on the volume. And you can see where you land. So anybody has an opportunity to be one of the top 5 producing agents in our company. And listen to me, when I'm out talking to people, when I'm out, you know, visiting with people or you know, introducing agents and things like that, I mean, I'll tell people you're one of my top agents, and I'm not lying, right? If you've made it in whatever week in this slot, in this top 5, you're a top agent, right? You've been in a position, you've been producing and gotten things under contract. You've done activity that has put you in a position to where you are a top agent, right? So this weekly review from a production and a volume standpoint, if you have it, you make it, and you last on it by continuing to put new deals and new deals and new deals on the board, then you are a top agent. And I talk to people about my top agents and about some of the transactions that they're working on, the things that they're doing. It's all about activity. It's about activity let me clarify. It ain't just about activity, it's about the right activities, doing the right activities, which is setting you up to have a good year, to have a really good year. Okay, so our new 60-day cycle, let's talk about that. So technically we were supposed to start it last week, but we had, because of the rain, technical difficulties with the internet at the office and kept trying to work through it, and we just couldn't work through it. So that's why we had to cancel the Create Your New Life training last week. And technically today I'm supposed to be at the TARAB conference, but because we didn't have the session last week, and I don't like going 2 weeks without having a session. So I'm here today and I'm foregoing. It was the pre-conference stuff, so the conference really doesn't start till tomorrow, so I think I'll be fine. So it'll be tomorrow and Saturday. Okay, so where should we be? So if we were supposed to start last week on the 1st, no, the 8th, we start, oh no, today is the day we're supposed to start. All right, duh. Okay, so we're supposed to start today. So as of today, we're supposed to have $575,000 is where we should be to reach our goal of 4.6 million. So I increased the goal from 4.1 million because we reached our goal last time, right? We're so excited about that. I increased the goal to 4.6, but the way that we're cranking it out, I probably should have increased it a lot more than that. I caught myself only increasing it 10%, but I should have went with my first mind, which was increasing it by 20% since we reached it. But that's okay. If we get to August 6th and we've blown it out of the water again, then we'll definitely make the adjustment, because we want to continue to stretch ourselves when it comes to production. So as of this week, we should be at 575, but we've had so much activity coming in. You know, these are the kind of things that prove what I'm saying. Like it kind of justifies your feeling. Like I felt like there's a lot of activity. I felt like we were putting a bunch of stuff on the board. But the thing about numbers is that numbers don't lie, right? So it doesn't matter what you feel like, because my feelings could be wrong, right? And a lot of times my feelings are wrong once I begin quantifying things. Numbers allow you to quantify. Well, this right here quantifies my feeling of us killing it, right? Because before we could even get the new session going, we already have 2.5 million. We're over halfway there already during the start of it, right? So now if we definitely carry this momentum on, we will hit our goals, right? We're starting off really, really fast. And I like that, especially us going into the summer months. The activity is there, and I want all of you all to take advantage of the fact that the buying season is here. So hopefully you put in the work that you needed to 90 days ago, back in March. At least you put in the work, plugging in your pipeline to where now you're in a position. You know, you worked hard, you dug deep, you put in the work to where now you're in a position to where you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clients that you're working with to get them under contract, right? So that's how this business flows. So that's where we are when it comes to our 60-day cycle. And again, the 60-day cycle is let's make the second half greater. Because we're starting it, you know, this is the beginning. We're now in the beginning of the second half of the year. We've gone through a complete half of a year. So now we're beginning the second half. Well, whether you had a good half or a bad half or an outstanding half, first half, let's make the second half greater, period. So that means it doesn't matter where you start, right? Here's the opportunity to outdo what you did in the first half, right? And even, you know, from a company standpoint, you know, we want to finish strong. We had a good, I mean, this has been the best first half of the year from a production standpoint that we've ever had in our 9 years of existence. This is the first, I mean, this is the best, by leaps and bounds, the best first half of a year that our company has ever had. And a lot of it has to do with the hard work that you all are putting in and getting these things under contract and closing them. So, but even with that being said, we're going to make the second half greater than the first, right? And we're going to do that by continuing to push these push these programs, getting these things on the board, getting people under contract. So that's absolutely, we're absolutely clear on what we know puts us in a position to be successful. Okay, let's see. We have some events. Yeah, let's do that right now. So want to, not the recruitment rally. Come on, there we go. All right, Texas Black Expo is this Saturday. So if you haven't got this email, or if you, I sent the email, I put it in the group me on yesterday, then let me know and I can resend the email to you. But we are having a booth at the Texas Black Expo. If you haven't gone to their website, you can go to the website, Texas Black, and it'll kind of talk to you a little bit. If you've never been to it, it'll talk to you a little bit about what to expect as you attend. So, you know, these are all the different activities that are going on at the expo, some information about past expos and things like that. But so we're one of the exhibitors right here. We're one of the exhibitors, and we have a booth. Again, it's a great opportunity for you to pick up leads if you work it the right way. Now, how do you work it the right way? Well, you work it the right way by first revisiting the CYNL session that I did called Work a Booth and Feed the Database in Big Chunks. I did it last September. If you click on this link here that was in the email, then it's going to take you to your 7-dot training. And inside of your 7-dot training, it has all the information on how to access that video, right? There's a link inside of the agenda. There's a link inside of the presentation. You click on one of those two links, and then you utilize those techniques that I talked about that were in that CYNL session, right? Once you do that, you want to then go to the Sign Up Genius and sign up for a spot. Now, Mr. Brooks is going to be there, so it's only one spot per person. As of right now, the only person that signed up is Margaret. Oh, and Garland. So you have Margaret and Garland, but you still have all of these slots in here that are still available. You can work as many, if a person comes in here and wants to work from 12 to 2 or 3, I don't have no problem with that. So first come, first serve. So if you want to do it, you better hurry up, click on that link and reserve your spot so we can see what time you're coming. So you just click on the link. Also, the link in Group Me, it'll take you to the Sign Up Genius, and you'll get on the booth. Get your set in the booth. And then the third thing is when you go to the event on Saturday, then apply the techniques that we talked about in that CYNL session and grow your business. You know, set yourself up for the third quarter of the year. So now it's not about what's gonna close for you in the next couple of months. That, you know, that work you should have been doing back in March. Now it's about, okay, well, if you're not satisfied with the amount of money that you're about to make now, you're not satisfied with the amount of contracts that you have on the board or the amount of clients that you're working with right now, if you want to change that, well, now's the time to start doing stuff like this, feeding your pipeline, feeding your funnel to where you get to the point to where, you know, 60 days, 90 days from now, you'll be set up to have the kind of month that you want to have, all right? So I definitely want to talk about the booth opportunity, okay? Also, I sent out, I'm going to need a little bit of assistance as far as you all helping with, I'm looking for, and I know I put the flyer in the group me, but I'm looking for, call it a real estate company manager. And just to kind of give you an idea of what that really is, that real estate company manager, make that a little bit bigger. That real estate company manager is really going to put me in a position to where I'm able to get freed up to help grow the business. As president of the company, my focus and my goal is growth, to allow us to get in opportunities, think through different processes and systems that where we can be more effective. And I know that the growth of the company comes through the growth of you all as individuals and as our agents. So when it comes to the day-to-day operations of this office, I want somebody, well, I'm not just gonna say this office, when it just comes to the day-to-day operations of the company, right? I want to bring somebody in that can handle the day-to-day operations effectively. Now, I'll still be there giving them guidance and giving them leadership, but I need somebody that's resourceful, that has the wherewithal, that's a critical thinker, that can come in here and they can manage all of these multiple moving pieces that we have at any given moment, right? So that's what I'm looking for when I'm looking for this real estate company manager or this real estate company management position. Okay, so this flyer right here, if you haven't seen it, I've emailed it out, I've put it in the group me. It talks about what they're due and their responsibilities about, it's all about driving our customer service experience, driving continuing new business and current business to close, and any special projects that we may have. And then it talks about what we're looking for. We're always looking for awesome people, whether it's, staff or agents. We want awesomeness. All right. But the biggest thing, one of the biggest things I think is that I really want somebody that loves the real estate industry, or they're intrigued by the real estate industry. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, and she's talking about she's wanting to get into real estate, and she studied nursing, and she worked for an orthodontist. And I'm like, why real estate, right? And she just is like, I've always just been intrigued or love real estate, this and that. I text her this flyer. I'm like, hey, you might want to apply for this position, because you may be a person that'll work well with what we're looking to do and what we're looking to build at Brooks and Davis. So that's one person that we're looking for. Now, I haven't started launching this stuff yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and show it here on the Create Your New Life training. I'm also looking for some specialized sales people. So now, you may be, now this has to be a licensed individual. And I'll talk to you a little bit about the premise of this. Again, I'm gonna start pushing this, probably be able to start pushing it today, as far as looking for somebody that's going to be a specialized agent, right? A special agent. Okay. And when I say specialized, meaning that I want to build a brand with them for specific things. Now, the two right now that I'm really wanting to go after and build a strong brand in is for sale by owners. It's on the listing side, for sale by owners, as well as probate and estate. Now, the reason that I want to bring somebody in is because I have the resources already. I have the ideas. I have the leads. I have all of that stuff, but I can't do it because, again, I'm pulled in so many directions, and I really want to focus on what's the best for the company, which is me being president and operating in that role. So I want to bring somebody in, and I want to develop them, and I want to give them access to all of that stuff, help them with the brand, and move them in that direction to where we're capturing those two markets, because it's just too much opportunity out there when it comes to for sale by owners and the access that Zillow gives us to people that are for sale by owners, as well as the estates and the probates. It's I hate to say it this way, but there are people dying all the time, and they have real estate, and whatever reason they may need to sell that or liquidate their real estate. So their heirs may need to do that. So there's major opportunity there as well. People are either scared of for sale by owners, or they're working them the wrong way. And agents and most agents don't even know about the opportunities when it comes to estates and probates, or they don't want to deal with the emotional aspects that come with it. They don't feel right about it. So I get that. That's cool. But I'm looking for somebody that is wanting to do it. So again, this flyer, I'm going to be sending it out. And it talks about what they'll be getting, as they come in. And again, this is whether you're a Brooks and Davis agent currently. If you're interested, then go to this website right there and apply. Or if it's a person that's not a Brooks and Davis agent, they can apply for it as well, but they have to be licensed. So it just talks about, you know, again, looking for somebody who's awesome. You know, they're a full-time agent. So it has to be a full-time agent. So unfortunately, our part-time agents wouldn't be able to come in that role. But don't worry, again, I'm creating that program for you guys. I'm gonna get y'all free from them jobs. Don't worry about that. But it has to be a full-time agent. Again, somebody who loves the real estate industry, resourceful, critical thinker, and some of those other things, right? So again, if you're interested, go to that site right there, bit.ly, bit.ly/SSO, stands for Specialized Salesperson Opportunity, SSO_APP, application. That's where you apply. Okay, so those are some of the things that we have going on here in Brooks and Davis. I think that's everything I want to tell you about. All right, Realtor Recruitment Rally. Always there's opportunity for you to get that residual, that mailbox money by referring people. I definitely, if you guys ever want to, I guess, get a little bit of insight when it comes to the best ways or mechanisms to push this program, because at the end of the day, listen, you really have to get into the mind frame of desiring. You should desire to whether have 10% of other people's efforts versus 100% of your own efforts. Let me say that again. You should want to get to the position to where you'd rather desire taking 10% of other people's efforts versus 100% of your own effort, right? And the reason I'm saying that is because if say you want 100% production out of yourself, but if you took 10% of 10 people, well, then that equals that 100% of your production, and you can go out there and you can spend that time doing something else. So when you go from saying I want 100% from my efforts to 10% of other people's efforts, what you're really doing is you're doing what I call manufacturing time. You're manufacturing time when you do that. When you leverage systems, when you leverage other people's efforts, when it comes to a financial standpoint, you're manufacturing time. You're creating time for yourself. And again, time is gold, money is silver. And a lot of people are trading their gold for silver. They're trading their time for money. The reason that time is gold is because you can't get time back. You can make money, but you cannot get time back. Once it's gone, right? So that's what we talk about when we say you're manufacturing time, right? Well, again, it has, we have a great resource that you can utilize when it comes to it. Our website. On our website, we have a tab that says New Career, ? Right? And it just talks about what we offer. Like, we'll develop and transform. It's all about development. So we'll develop and transform you from a new agent into a real estate expert, right? A lot of times when I'm quoting things, I'm taking stuff straight from the website. It's on the website already. But it talks about our culture with our purpose and our values. Here's a video right here that talks about why people should pick Brooks and Davis over other real estate brokerage firms. So I really address what sets us apart, what makes us unique as a firm, what true resources we have to offer to people when compared to other firms. And then you kind of scroll down and see what else we do. Even an example of a Create Your New Life session is on this page right here. So you can actually text or email people that this link right here, not the whole Brooks, and just that particular link. You can text that to people when talking about getting them to possibly to have a meeting, right? I don't want you to sell Brooks and Davis, right? I don't want you to sell, let me clarify. I don't want you to sell them signing up with Brooks and Davis. I just want you to sell them meeting with Brooks. I want you to sell the appointment. Don't sell them signing up. Sell the appointment. Send them the link to the website. Brooks will close them. You ain't got to worry about Brooks. Brooks gonna close them. He knows how to. Matter of fact, y'all done all met with him, so you know he know how to close. So all you have to do is sell the appointment. Convince the person to have a sit-down appointment with Mr. Brooks. He's a closer. You get some coffee. Coffee's for closers. Okay, ADI. So now this whole foundation conversation that we're doing is I'm taking bits and pieces from the ADI, the Agent Development Institute. All right, I want you to. I'm coming, kind of getting towards the tail end of my class. This class now that I have 4 great agents that are going through this program. I believe that they're getting. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let one of our agents, who I hope is not shy about doing it, Ms. Stubblefield, since you're going through the program, can you talk a little bit about what you've received out of kind of going through the ADI program? I'd love for you to do that for me if you can. Can you unmute yourself? Maybe not. Every now and again, this thing won't let you unmute. I don't know why it does that. Okay. Well, Kim, if you are able to unmute yourself, then I would love for you to talk about kind of what you've been getting out of the ADI program. But again, the ADI program is all about taking you from one place in real estate to a exponentially. Now listen to the term that I used, exponentially greater place, right? So I'm not just talking about a little bit of move or a moderate amount of move, or a good amount of move. No, I'm talking about an exponential greater place than where you are now, right? The way that I quantify that in the minds of, I'm saying, take a brand new agent. Kim, I think you muted yourself again. All right. They just don't want to let you speak today. All right. But the way that I was able to quantify it was to take a brand new agent who hadn't made any money in real estate, to take them from $0, right? Because if they're brand new, they haven't made any money. Take them from 0 to 70,000 in a 15-month period. So that's an exponentially greater place. To go from 0 to 70,000 in a 15-month period is an exponentially greater place, right? But again, if you come in and you're already there, you're already making 30, 40, 50,000, right? Then we're going to take you to an exponentially greater place. So I don't want you to get caught up on thinking, oh, that's only for agents that is not making money. When Kim joined the program, she was making money already, right? When, Margaret's in it, Laquana's in it, they were making money already. So nobody got in it at 0. Everybody that's in this first class were already making money, right? So the goal was to get them to make exponentially more amount of money. So what I've been doing is I've been pulling chunks and taking pieces from it, because they're good opportunities, development opportunities and talking points through the Create Your New Life session, to just offer some exposure to the program, and as well as to prepare for the fact that I'm going to be doing an open call. It's kind of like health insurance. You have to have an open enrollment. So I'm going to have an open enrollment, to where we're going to have another interest meeting and bring in another class. Again, this is for our full-time agents. I know it's for our full-time agents. Don't worry about it. I'm going to create one to free y'all up from them jobs. My part-time agents, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do it this year. So don't worry about it. But for right now, for this program, it's for our full-time agents, to get them, again, an opportunity and get exposed to the type of development. Again, I didn't call it the ATI. I didn't call it the Agent Training Institute, because you guys know how I feel about training. Training is just dumping information on you and then sending you out there to do it. And there has to be that level of support and accountability that comes with the delivering of the information. It's more than just giving you the information. You need help executing it and utilizing it. And it doesn't take a lot of time to do it. So what we're going to talk about today from the ADI program when it comes to foundation is we're going to talk about first this right here. Now, one of our newest agents, and oh my God, I forgot to do this. We want to welcome, we do it every week at the top of the session, and I've skipped over it. We want to definitely welcome our two newest agents to the family. One of them's on the session today, Miss Yulina St. Marth. Absolutely want to welcome her to the family. The other agent is Tay Moore, so definitely want to welcome her. I haven't had my orientation with her yet. We're going to have to do it in a couple of weeks. But we absolutely want to welcome both of these young ladies to the family as we continue to grow our family. And she's on the call now. But one of the things that, well, I definitely know that she will probably be able to relate to this aspect of things because she comes from the medical field. So what I have right here is the Hippocratic Oath, right? The Hippocratic Oath is the oath that doctors take when they become doctors, right? It's the oath of the things that they swear to fulfill when it comes to the medical industry and the medical profession and helping people. Okay. The reason that I'm showing you the Hippocratic Oath, because if you read it, you see the things that they've committed themselves to. They made a commitment of service, a commitment of results, because they understand what people are entrusting them with. People are entrusting them with their health. They're entrusting them with their lives, right? So these doctors are saying, these doctors are saying that they are going to take that responsibility. They are saying that they can be trusted. Miss St. Martha is saying that first, it should say first do no harm. And matter of fact, you and I will talk off the cuff on that as well, because in my research, they were saying some things about that portion of it not being on the original text, but whatever. Anyway, these medical professionals are saying that they are going to bear the responsibilities of their patients, of the people, of the human race, right? So now this is the original, and again, it's long time ago when this was written, long time ago. And this is a viewing of the original Latin text that the Hippocratic Oath, Greek text that the Hippocratic Oath. So, many years BC, this thing came into play. But again, if you just read some of the things that they talk about, and again, this is a translation, right? Because it was written in Latin. This is a translation of the commitment that they're taking to fulfill with the best of their ability, judgment. They respect the hard-won scientific gains. They'll apply the benefit of the sick. Like, it's a heavy-duty commitment and an oath to their profession. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because we, as real estate professionals, should have the same level of weight when it comes to us making a commitment to our profession. I believe our profession is just as valuable, right? So just like you have doctors that are they're surgeons, they deal with the health of the human body. Well, as real estate professionals, we deal with the health from a financial standpoint of our customers, the financial health, right? A lot of times when purchasing a home, this is the greatest financial decision that a lot of people will ever make in their lives, right? And they're entrusting you with that, right? So as a professional, you need to pledge, you need to make a pledge and an oath like the doctors do to their profession on the seriousness. It needs to have the same level of weight that this has, because what you do is just as important, right? We're helping families, we're helping people, right? We're navigating a very cumbersome process to help people get from point A to point B. And just think about all the things that come when a family buys a home. Think about the schools, think about the development of their children, think about safety, think about quality of life. You know, you're doing all of that for them, right? And they're entrusting you that, because this isn't in most people's instances, this may be a 30-year commitment. They're signing up for a loan. They're making a promise that over the next 30 years, they're going to be on the hook for this piece of land, the dream, for this portion of their quality of life, and you're holding their hand through that process. So that's why I wanted to bring that up, because there's a portion of this in the ADI when we talk about you pledging yourselves to this industry, making a pledge to yourself, to your clients, your future clients, your current clients, the customers that you're wanting to be clients, to the industry, community, the industry, to Brooks and Davis, like to everybody that's affiliated with it. You have to be that committed to it as these medical. So we took a note from the medical profession to help us get there. All right, so here we go. Let's talk foundation. Now, when we're talking foundation, one of the things that we use in the ADI is that we use this checklist. Let's see. We use this checklist here. It's called building a solid foundation checklist. And we use this checklist to ensure that we are focusing on these things that we're talking, like certain aspects. So on that slide, so we use this checklist, and pretty much there's a part of the institute to where we get to this. Now it has a 5 in front of it. So there are 4 other areas of the institute that you must do first before you can get here. Because this right here is really action. It's you putting your actions into place, right? So we can get the certain results that we're looking for. Again, we talked about that formula. Beliefs equal actions, actions equals results. So if the result is to take you from one place to an exponentially higher place, that's your results. Then there are certain actions that you have to do, which is this. But before we get into the actions, we got to deal with the beliefs, what you believe about these actions. So that's the first part of the ADI Institute. Is really about you're dealing with your beliefs, what you believe, because that's driving the actions or the inaction that you may have been experiencing. So here, by the time we get here, it's all about actions and activities and things. So this is the checklist that we utilize. Well, on this slide, we're going to talk about some of the things. I just kind of broke it down. So the first thing that you got to do is you got to make sure that you have your basic tools, right? What's a plumber without a monkey wrench, right? What's a contractor without a hammer, right? So there are basic tools that you need to be successful in this business. What are some of those basic tools? Number one, you need to join HAR. You need to join HAR. So, there's people out here they're licensed and they're like, man, I can't pay that $400. I can't pay that. Listen, HAR right now, even though they make you, if you sign up under us, you have to join it. But there are a lot of resources. They are effective in what they do, and they do bring a lot of value to the business. It's just about understanding how to use it, how to leverage it, right? And I can teach you how to do that. We can do that here. We can show you how to leverage it and get your best, if it's a $441 investment, we can show you how to get a return from it, right? Through the classes and the MLS and, all of that stuff, the events that they have, all of that. Volunteer opportunities. There's opportunity with joining HAR. So you definitely want to visit the HAR, join HAR, get your super key. Got to get your super key. And people running out here that don't have a super key. Listen, I get it. That it's easy for you to call me or call Mr. Brooks or call another agent and borrow the super key. But look, again, that's like a plumber trying to borrow. He got a job and he's trying to borrow a monkey wrench. There are just certain basic tools that you just need to have in your toolbox that need to be yours. So you can dictate your time and your schedule. Because if you got to borrow something from somebody, you have to kind of do it, you know, build it around their time and their efforts. But if this is going to be your profession, this is what you're going to do. You're going to build a foundation in this thing and to be strong. You got to get your own super key, right? You need to get a Realtor lapel pen. You need to get 2 Realtor lapel pens because you're going to lose one of them. Listen, I have about 5 of them at my house because I lose them, right? These things are like $10. So get you 2 of them, right? Just in the event because you every day that you walk out of your house, you want people to see clearly that you're in real estate. If you wear, whether that's through the Realtor polo shirt, if you're a hat, if you're a ball cap kind of person, you get the Realtor ball cap, right? I mean, even my wallet, I pull my wallet out of my pocket. They got the Realtor logo on my wallet, right? So when I'm paying for stuff, so you want to make it easy for people to know what you do, right? I was out with some friends last night, and that's, you know, person, she started talking about real estate and things like that, and I didn't even have to do it. Like the guys that I were with, they start pointing to the pen. Oh, this is the guy. This is the guy. Look right there. He got his pen on. So you want to make it easy for people to see what you do. You want to make it easy for people to promote you, your friends, your family. You want to make it easy for them to promote you. So one of the basic tools that you need to have is your lapel pin, and you need to get you some Realtor polo shirts, right? 1 to 5. I have 8. Now I need to get some more because they're kind of dated and old. But I know what I have them for. I have them because they got that R on there. That's all I really care about. But I probably do need to get some new ones. My point is, you need to get you some Realtor polos, right? I know what LaQuana does. She doesn't necessarily wear the polo. She wears the T-shirts, right? So she'll put on a Realtor T-shirt with showing the R with her outfit. You know, that's a look that she's into. But you got to get you something. Realtor polos, Realtor T-shirts. Every day you walk out your house, people need to be able to see that you're a realtor. So that's a basic tool. All right. What else? Smartphone. Listen, stop playing with these phones. If your phone is not up to snuff, you need to get a phone that has some data to where you can download some apps, that you can take some nice pictures, you know, that you can utilize. You need to get you a smartphone, an updated smartphone version of a smartphone. Listen, I'm not saying you got to go out there and get the iPhone 8 or 7 or whichever one they got right now. I'm not saying that. That's a 6, right? But at some point, I'm gonna have to upgrade it, right? I'm probably gonna have to upgrade it this year. Probably as we get close to the fall, I'm probably gonna have to upgrade it because the operating systems change, the app developers, they change, and they go with whatever operating system is the most recent one. When you try to download the newer operating systems on the older versions of the phones, it slows it down and freaks it out. So you got to get a phone that works the right way. Some other tools, again, different apps. Evernote is an excellent app for keeping your login stuff, right? On my phone, whenever I'm looking for something or login, I don't have to remember any of my logins. I don't even try to because I got so many of them. But if I ever need a login, all I have to do is just go to my Evernote. Go to my Evernote, which is here. Y'all probably can't see that. Y'all can't see it. All right, so go to my Evernote, and on my phone, I have a note that's on my phone that has all my logins for all the different stuff that you need logins for, like your HAR and your zip form and your emails and all the different stuff, right? Can you guys see that? Yeah, I probably can't see that. Anyway, but oh, you know what? I can show you on the computer. Yeah. So let me share this with you. So right here, we always talking about working smarter, not harder. Click on that little tab right there. It takes me to Evernote. You guys should need to be using your bookmarks on your computer to help you get to stuff faster, right? Because yeah, I could have went there and start typing in Evernote, but and it may seem like, well, that doesn't take a lot of time. Well, if you take that time and you add it up, then now you take those little bits of time that you feel like you're not using, you add that stuff up over the course of a day or a week or a month, then it does turn into time. That's just like how y'all, people will walk by, they'll walk by pennies. I don't know why people walk by pennies. Every time I see a penny, I pick it up because them pennies add up. 10 pennies is a dime, 10 dimes is $1, $10 is $10, $10 is $100, $100 is $1,000. You see how that thing add up? I don't walk by no pennies. And just like I don't take for granted bit smaller pieces of time. So if I can manufacture some time by just taking the Evernote website and making it a favorite link to where all I have to do is push the button versus having to type it in the web browser, I'm gonna do that. All right, but then look, so when I click on it, the very first note it goes to is my logins. It says company online logins, boom. And it shows all of them. So I ain't got to remember none of them, right? So, in my opinion, Evernote is a great tool that you can utilize in real estate. It's a basic tool that I believe you need. And that's just one instance of how you can utilize Evernote. There are multiple instances on how you can utilize Evernote. Okay, phone apps. Now, a lot of these phone apps, when you come to your orientation, I make sure you have like GroupMe. Got to get your GroupMe app because it's just easy to communicate. Google Drive, right? Because that gives you access to the 7-dot training folder on your phone. Right? Google Sheets, it gives you access to some of the spreadsheets and to be able to manipulate the spreadsheets on your phone. We already talked about Evernote, right? To keep track of my taxes, I use an app called TaxBot. What it does is it automatically keeps track of my mileage when I'm driving. I just have to classify where I went. Also, I can take a picture of my receipts and it logs my receipts in there as well. So it is so getting you the right apps for your phone. There's an app called Easy Measure. I use that app when we're doing the dimensions, the room dimensions for the houses that you have to put on the MLS. Instead of going out there and getting one of those dimension measurer or those radar measurers, you can use your phone, use the app on the phone, and it can do that for you. So that's a basic. All right, and then the last basic thing is a laptop. Just like I say, stop playing with these phones. Stop playing with these slow computers because that's killing your productivity. If you don't, when it comes to computers, what you really need to be trying to get is a processor, a certain type of processor, because that's where the speed piece comes from. Yeah, memory is good, but the thing about memory is that your computer, as the memory begins to get full, then yeah, it has major effects on your computer. It definitely slows things down for you as it fills up, as you're putting files and things on there. So another thing you should be trying is make sure you deleting stuff off your computer. But the processor is the brain. It's the speed. It's the brain. It's what really drives it and forces it to go fast. So like with this computer here, I have a Core i5 Pentium processor. They have, I'm an Intel processor. They have the i7, the i3. But you know, my point is that when you upgrade, or as you upgrade, you know, I'm not a Mac person, so I don't really know nothing about those. But as you upgrade your laptop, make sure that the processor is that you talk to the people about ensuring that you have the best processor in your computer, because speed is the name of the game, and you want to be able to move through this thing from a transactional standpoint, from an administrative standpoint. You want to have those resources and those tools that can move you through it quickly, so you can go ahead and get on to those money-making activities, right? I want you to do more fishing than you're doing cleaning and preparing fish, right? Because again, if we're talking about volume and quantity, we're talking about amount of fish, so amount of money, volume of transactions. Then you need to be fishing, right? Because the fisherman is the one that determines the quantity that you get. So the amount of time that he spends out to sea with his nets in the ocean dictates how much everybody's gonna eat, right? It ain't the ones that's packaging the fish, it ain't the ones that's cleaning the fish or filleting the fish or cooking the fish. Those aren't the people that dictate the quantity. The only person that dictates the quantity is the fisherman. So when you have these other things, now those other things have to take place, because before you can eat it, things have to happen. It got to be cleaned and it got to be cooked before you can eat it. Ain't nobody out here eating raw fish. Well, so it's necessary for those things to happen. But when we're talking quantity and volume, that comes from you fishing. So I want you to be able to quickly clean it, quickly cut it, quickly fillet it, quickly cook it, so you can get out there and fish some more and get some more fish, right? So under ideal circumstances, you definitely don't want to be no worse than a 50-50 split. 50% administration transactional stuff, 50% building the business. 50% building the business, 50% maintaining the business. If the ratio is skewed and you're 70, 80, 90% maintaining the business, 10, 20% or 0% building the business, that's not going to get you the type of business results that you want. So worst case scenario, 50-50, 50% building, 50% maintaining every single day. Every single day that you work, that's what your day should consist of. 50% of activities that are going towards building and growing your business, and 50% of activities that are maintaining your business, transactional stuff, searching for properties, showing properties, negotiating contracts. Well, yeah, negotiating contracts, transactional stuff. Lead gen, lead follow-up, marketing, prospecting, those are the things that grow your business. Okay, so those are the basic tools that you need when building your foundation. You need to have those basic necessities, right? So the next thing on our list is the calendar. Oh my God, the calendar is so important. It's so important. Yet so many of us are not operating by the calendar. Now I get it. I know what y'all gonna say, but I put stuff in it when I need to do something. I use my calendar. I do use it. It's in my phone. If something coming up, I put it in there. I know that's what you're gonna tell me, right? And what I'm gonna tell you is that I get that, but that ain't helping you like you think it is. You think that's helping you, but it ain't helping you like you think it is. When I'm talking about the calendar, I'm talking about not only you utilizing it as a way to see the things that need to be done, but you also utilize it as a way to organize and budget your time. See, that's what most people are not using the calendar to do. They're not using it to organize and budget their time, right? See, people talk about a budget when it comes to money, but you rarely hear people talk about a budget when it comes to time. You should budget your time just like you budget your money. What's my guy's name? Dave Ramsey, if you're familiar with him, through his teaching, one of the things that he talks about is every dollar should have a name on it. And what he's saying is that from a budgeting standpoint, when it comes to your finances, every single piece of money that you get should be designated for something. If anything's left not designated, if you get $1,000, then that whole $1,000 before you even receive it needs to be broken up to what's this going to go to. You know, this amount gonna go to tithes, this amount gonna go to savings, this amount right here is gonna go to pay bills, this amount right here is gonna go to whatever. Every dollar should have a name on it. So then when you get the 1,000, you can just distribute. Done. Because if you don't do it that way, then what'll happen is that certain things are gonna get money that you didn't want to get. You didn't want that money to go there, but you had no concept of measuring it or monitoring it. And next thing you know, you just ain't got $1,000 no more, and you got stuff that should have got paid, right? That's what you're gonna run into. Well, it's the same thing with your time. Every minute, every second should have a name on it, right? If your workday is 9 to 5, then that 9 to 5, you should identify what you're gonna do within that time frame, right? To give you an example of a time block. So my days they used to look like this. They don't look like this now because I got to adjust. I'm in a different role. But when I was doing real estate, my days looked like this: 9 to 12, lead gen. 12 to 12:30, I'm driving to a 12:30 appointment. 12:30 to 1:30, that's my appointment slots. I always did an hour appointment slots. And then in between my appointment slots, I put 30-minute breaks to give me the ability to get to the next meeting. So 9 to 12 lead gen, 12:30 the first appointment slot, 2 o'clock the next appointment slot, because I'm gonna meet from 12:30 to 1:30, give myself 30 minutes. So 2 o'clock, 2 to 3 we're gonna meet. Then my next appointment slot is 3:30, give myself 30 minutes from 3 to 3:30 to get to where I'm trying to get to. The next appointment slot is 5 o'clock, because I'm gonna meet from 3:30 to 4:30, give myself 30 minutes to get to the 5 o'clock appointment, meet from 5 to 6, right? So every second, every time is accounted for, right? So then you ask me, well, when did you do admin stuff, right? So, okay, that's a valid question. On my calendar, I would identify a day. So maybe I did it after 6 o'clock when I got home, or maybe I did it before I started at 9 o'clock, right? So by 9 o'clock, that means I'm already dressed. I've already had breakfast. I've already running whatever errands or any of that stuff. So by 9 o'clock, lead gen starts, right? That's so I could have did admin stuff for it. Or say I don't have 3 appointments scheduled. So since I have some open time because I don't have an appointment at that time, then I can do some admin stuff, right? So that's how you dictate and you manage and you monitor. That's how you monitor all of that stuff. So calendar is very important. Let's see. On our list, you see that there are certain things that we want to make sure when creating our calendar, we want to make sure that are a part of it, right? Now, understand, I've done a Create Your New Life session that's a part of the Get Organized series. Matter of fact, the very first Create Your New Life session I did on being organized, and we talked about the calendar, and we talked about time blocking. So you have access for me to go into deep. I'm not going to go into deep detail because you can just easily look at that Create Your New Life. I even showed an example of my calendar on that session. So you can go to that You can look at it, but there are slots that you want to make sure that you have, and you want to use colors. So anything that makes you money, you want that to be green, because when you take the brain is designed to process information in images. It was never designed to process words. So it's easier for the brain to process things and it faster when it's pictures. That's why emojis are so effective. I mean, have you ever read about how effective emojis are in communicating a person's emotion, right? It's because they're doing it in a picture. So instead of saying happy, you show a little happy face, to your brain, it's processing it faster, right? Those emotions are faster. So that's why they take off. Well, that's the same thing. So what you want to do is that when you finish your calendar, if you're using colors like green for the activities that are making me money, red for the activities that don't make me money, that don't build, but it's more maintaining the business. So it's the transactional stuff, the administration stuff. We use that as red. If say you use purple for family stuff, right? When you take a step back and you look at your calendar after you time block it, then you'll be able to see, do I have a calendar that's positioning me for success? Because if you take a step back and you see that on your calendar, it's more red than green, or it's more purple, if that's going to be your personal color, than green, then you're not setting yourself up to be successful from a monetary standpoint. Spend finances. It's not a good business decision. So you got to, when you're planning and when you're budgeting, you got to make sure that your calendar, especially during working hours, is majority green, right? Your week is majority green. Or if we talk about that 50-50, at least it's got to be 50-50, right? So you start there with your calendar. So you want to use those colors. On here it talks about lead generation, prospecting, and marketing. It needs to be green. Administration work, that needs to be red. Determine when are you most effective. Now, I still ask this question. I assume that most people are effective in the morning. And the reason that I say that is because if you've rested properly, if you've had 7 hours of sleep, then when you wake up and you're the most rested, the most refreshed, then that's when just common sense says that you're going to be the most productive. Now, some people are more productive in the midday. Some people are more productive in the evening. So I'm not going to be naive enough to believe that my belief is the end all be all. But whatever it is, you want to determine when's your best day. And whatever your best time, when you're most effective, then you want to do the most difficult assignment. Well, I'm going to already tell you what that is. Lead generation. Lead generation is the most difficult thing for people to do. It's not because it's hard. It's just from a psychological standpoint, it's not the right now thing in our heads. Like, so that level of importance is not there because it's still more future gain type stuff, right? If you're a farmer, then naturally you're going to be pulled towards harvesting the farm versus planting new seed that's not going to materialize until a future time. So it's just that natural pull that you got to deal with. So since that's the case, do that when you have the best, when you're feeling the best. And that's in most instances when you first get up in the morning. So that's why I did mine from 9 to 12. You want to do 3 hours called an engagement time. So that's your lead generation, prospecting, and marketing. At least, do 2 to 3 hours. You ain't got to do 3 like me, but at least 2 hours a day, right? You want to attend at least 2 conferences per year. That's that sharpening the axe, right? Definitely, self-improvement. That's one of the 5 things that you should be that you should be doing all the time, right? Lead generation, lead follow-up, negotiating contracts, going on appointments, negotiating contracts, and self-improvement. It's one of those 5 things. So you want to go to 2 conferences per year. You want to take vacations. That's another thing that we don't do. We don't take vacations. You don't take breaks. That prevents burnout, right? And you have to resharpen yourself. You got to take a step back and you got to refresh, right? So you can come back refreshed and stronger. Just think about the output of a person who, say, over a week And, you know, one person didn't sleep at all, and the other person had a good night's sleep every day. Well, when it comes to Friday, who do you think is going to would have produced more? Well, it's the person that stopped, slept, got back up, and started working again, versus the person that just stayed up working all through the night, all the time. When you add it all together, the person that stopped and slept is going to be more productive, because even though he has those gaps of sleeping in there, when he comes back, he's more refreshed and energized. He can be more effective in the results that he's trying to make, versus the guy that is not getting any rest. Then although he has the time, he's utilizing the time, he's tired. So the results, although it's spread out, the results aren't there. This guy, the one that slept, he's maximizing things. So it's the same thing with working. I tell people, you're not going to be able to compete with me on any level if you're not taking breaks, because when I come out of a break, I'm too productive, right? And if you're not taking any breaks, you never reach that cue with yourself. So you definitely want to take breaks at least once a quarter. Again, talks about 30 minutes for new technology. That's a self-preparation, identify and appointments. And then you want to have a no real estate day. Stop working every day of the week. You need to take a day off. My day off is Sunday. I don't do no real estate on Sundays, right? And I don't have a problem with telling clients that. I don't have a problem with telling other agents that. I have a problem with telling y'all that. Don't call me on no Sunday. Well, you can call me, but I ain't gonna be doing no work. Who knows what you're gonna hear in the background? I know you're gonna hear my kids, and they're gonna be yelling. But you know, definitely don't call before 1:30 because I'm being church. But my point is that your Sunday may not need to be your day, but you gotta get a real estate, a no real estate day, and you gotta be committed to it because it's making you better as a person. Okay, and then if you get tired, man, I mean, you don't necessarily have to put this on your calendar, but take naps. I'm all about naps, right? Pull over, take you about a 26-minute nap. Supposedly 26 minutes is the ideal time, right? But take your nap, 26 minutes. Like if I get tired here in I already know I'm gonna need a nap today because David stayed out too late last night. But the point is that take your nap, take your break from the day, right? And then again, refresh yourself and then finish it strong and then shut it down. Okay. So you got to have a calendar. So when we talk about the basics, when we talk about your foundation, you got to have a calendar. You got to have those basic tools, and you have to have a calendar, be organized and budgeting with your time, right? Okay, so now the last one we'll do today is goals, and then we'll shut it down for if anybody has any questions or anything. So goals. Well, if we go back to our checklist, you'll see that. Oh, well, hold on. Before we do that, there's some more basics. So your association profiles. Another thing that, and again, this really goes into your basics, but you need to set up your Texas Realtors page. You need to set up your RPR. You need to set up your HAR page. Now, this is for the people that join HAR, because if you don't join HAR, you don't have none of this stuff. You don't have access to RPR, which is something when we're analyzing a property that we can utilize, like Zillow. You can look at Zillow, you can look at your RPR, you can do your regular comps. So it can put you in a best position to get the data to make an opinion when it comes to a particular property or some value on a particular property. So you want to make sure that you have those profiles set up, right? And when I say set up, meaning have your login, know how to access your login if you need to get in there. If they want a picture, upload your picture, upload your description, your biography, like get it going, set it up, right? And then log into it and utilize it. The wife and I, we drove to Lubbock and we needed to rent a car. So we know that you get discounts on car rentals when you're a realtor, but you have to access that benefit through your Texas Realtors page. So I went, logged into my Texas Realtors page so I could pull it up, right? And if I didn't remember what it was, I could go to Evernote and get the login information. So I did that. Another thing, these initial classes. If you're a brand new agent, you need to go to orientation. You need to go to, sign up for your orientation, attend orientation, so you can get an idea of, again, what comes from your membership in HAR, what are some of the things that you get, and how can you leverage it. So you want to go through orientation. You want to take your zip form class. So once you do get a client, or they're ready to negotiate, do a contract. Yeah, I have a video on there that shows me. There's a video on the 7-Dot training that shows me filling out the contractual documents, but I don't talk about using zip forms and how to do it. That's where we go to get all of the digital forms. We do it all online and type the information in there. So take the zip forms class so you can see how to use zip forms. And the same thing with it's really Matrix now because they're getting out of it, but take the Matrix class so you'll know how to use Matrix. That's the tool that you're going to be using when you're doing your property searches. All of that is basics. That's the basic tools that you need to have. So you have the basic tools and the basic knowledge on how to utilize the tools. Zip forms is a tool. Matrix is a tool. HAR is a tool. Texas Realtors, RPR, those are tools. You need to go learn how to use them, right? Because you need those things. You're already paying for them. Go learn how to use them so you can best utilize them. All right, so goals. Here we go. Okay, so what you want to do is that, first of all, you want personal goals. I get that. But you need to have goals when it comes to your business. There are certain goals that you need to set for yourself that drive your business. Okay. And some of these goals as we continue to talk through this, we're going to get to, because, the goals piece is right after the basics, right? But there are goals. And so when I say goal, I'm not saying, or that could be your goal. I want to make $100,000 this year. All right. So now that's a good goal. The problem though, and that's a common goal. That's what most people typically, that's how they do goal set. They decide an amount of volume or an amount of houses. I want to do, like I was talking to a guy the other day, he wants to do 30 houses a month. Okay. You want to do 30 houses a month. Well, that's more of a lagging indicator. When I'm talking, and when I say lagging, meaning that it's the result of some other activity that you need to be measuring, your leading indicators, right? So if you want to do 30 closes a month, then you need to reverse engineer that thing and figure out what are the activities, those leading activities that can bring me to that result, right? So I'll give you an example. Say you want to do 30 closes a month. Well, before a person is closed and you're receiving a commission check, what are the things that have to happen first? Well, first, before there's a closing, there has to be a contract. Before there's a contract, there has to be a client. Before there's a client, there has to be a consultation, right? And before there's a consultation, that person had to come from somewhere. That person was a lead, right? So, and typically these leads are through your contacts. So it had to be a contact somewhere, right? And before there was a contact, there had to be a lead, somebody that you got, right? So the question is, if I want to do 30 closings a day and I have all of these other avenues that I have to go through, these phases that I have to go through, I don't need to be measuring how many, or my goal shouldn't be how many closings. My goal should be, well, how many leads do I need? How many contacts do I need to make, right? So you got to figure out what that ratio is. Now, the ratio that I tell people is typically 3 to 1, right? But it's not 3 to 1 leads and contacts. It's 3 to 1 clients, right? So if you want 30 closings per month, you need 3 times 30 clients, people that have signed paperwork, that are pre-approved, or that are under listing agreement. You need to 3 times that. That's 90. You need 90 at any given time. That's at any given time. You need to have 3 times if that's what your goal is. So if your goal is 2 closes a month, then that's 6 clients. If your goal is 10 closes a month, then that's 30 clients. So it's that 3 to 1. But again, it's clients. Well, then the question is that, well, how do you get 30 clients, right? If you want to do 10 closings a month, well, how do you get 30 clients? Because before the clients, how many consultations do you need to make? Do you need to have? How many contacts do you need to make? How many leads do you need to get, right? So that's how that works. So when we're talking about specific and measurable goals, we're talking about you measuring the leading indicators that'll get you the particular results that you want. Hey, a person may not want 10 closings a month. They want 2 closings a month. Well, that person's not going to have to work as hard on the front end than the person that wants 10 closings per month, because, again, it's all ratio and percentage based. So that's what we mean when we say goal setting, goal planning. So now these are the goals actually and you can use these goals for yourself. They're great goals. Matter of fact, I think they're perfect for what we're doing here in real estate. Well, it's in real estate. Since we're driving at 0 to 70,000, I'll back that thing up, right? So at an average purchase price of 185,000, you need to do 2 closings a month at an average purchase price of 185,000 based on the commission and splits and things like that. For you to do 2 closings, you got to get 6 contacts. We call it the simple 6. 6 clients. We call it the simple 6. So if you're a brand new agent, you're just starting this thing out, you're not making 70 grand, you want to get there, then you say, well, one of my goals is I need to get up to my simple 6. I need to get 6 clients. Okay, that's a goal. All right. As we continue to walk through this thing, we're going to talk about database. We're going to talk about email marketing and all this other stuff. You can have a goal of, I want to add a certain amount of people to my database per week or per month. I want to add a certain amount of people to my email marketing, right? Per week, per month. Or you can set a goal like on here. If you're just starting out with using customer relationship management systems, where you set your goal, I want to add my first 150 people within 30 days, right? So you want to go through your phone and your email and your Facebook and get all these contacts and put them in your CRM. That's a goal in your first 30 days, and then set you another goal saying, I want to add 10 people a day, or 5 people a day, 20 people a week, 100 people a month, like whatever. And same thing with your email marketing. I want to get my first 100 in the next 30 days. And then after that, I want to add, 5 people, 10 people, per week. So, you want to pass out a certain amount of business cards. See, this is business building. These are business building activities. And then again, since you say 70,000 is the goal, well, here it was like, you need to make sure that your average sales price is 185,000. So you can get those 6 people, those 6 clients, but if you add them all up, add their pre-approvals all up and divide them by 6, and if that average is less than $185,000, then you either gotta get, new people with greater pre-approvals or listing amounts, or you're going to have more than 6 people to reach that goal. So that's 6 for a person wanting to make 70 grand is if the average sales price is 185,000. So that could be a goal. I want a goal of an average sales price of 185,000. It forces you to be clear and have a level of clarity. It's another goal on here, 18 transactions in a 12-month period. right? So that's a little less than 2 closings per month at an average of $185,000 purchase price, right? So those are the type of goals and the leading indicators that we're talking about. Those activities, measure or set goals for those, how many of those activities that you're going to be doing, and you want to unit the smallest unit as possible. So don't say, I mean, don't do it from a monthly standpoint. And if you do it from a monthly standpoint, break it down to where it's a daily activity. How many business cards do you need to pass out a day? How many contacts do you need to make per day? How many people do you need to add into the Wise Agent per day? You know, break it down to where it can be done on a daily basis, right? Every day, right? Because it's the habits and it's the activities that you have to be working towards, you have to be working on. So the last thing about the goals is that not only do you want to set them and you want them to look like that, you want to put them somewhere to where you see them every day. Every day you want to see what am I supposed to be working on today? I'm supposed to be working on getting a certain amount of contacts. I'm supposed to be working on adding a certain amount of people to Wise Agent. I'm supposed to be making sure that this average sales price is what this is. What am I doing every day? You need to be able to see them. So whether that's in the bathroom on the mirror, whether that's in your car, whether that's on the refrigerator, whether that's on your phone, wherever, you need to see it as often as possible, especially at least once a day. But if you can look at it more than that, then you need to do it. You need to put it somewhere to where you see it on a constant basis, because you got to make sure that that thing is in the forefront of your mind at all times. It is the lighthouse. It's the thing that's guiding your business in a particular direction. So you absolutely want to make sure that you're doing that. So that's it. But we're going to stop here today. So next week, we're going to pick it up, start talking about that good old CRM, that customer relationship management system. We're going to pick that up next week. That ain't what I meant to do. This one. Yeah, so next week we're going to pick up that good old customer relationship management system as we continue to talk about the foundational aspects of building and setting your business up for sustainability and success. Sustainability and success. All right, with that being said, does anybody have any questions or comments or anything, since these microphones aren't working well? Thank you, Kim. I was going to say you could use the group me. The group chat or the group me. But if nobody has anything, I absolutely want to wish you all a wonderful weekend. We finally got this rain out of the way for a little bit, so enjoy the good weather. Let's do the work. If you guys need anything, absolutely 100% reach out to me, call me, and we'll get those questions and everything answered. Okay? So we're gonna go ahead and bob out to the music as we finish that thing up. Let's go. Oh yeah. There it is. All right. Create your new life session. Another one's in the books. We'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.